Goodbye. Alright, so we're going to build an interceptor here. This will be a plane with wings and rudders, but a whole bunch of wing rudder redundancy, and I'll have to buy some SMGs. I think I only have... well, first of all, the next question, a tier 7 interceptor. Alright, so that's suggestions from both of you guys. That would be San Sidon and Jessinator. Alright, so what am I? I am currently in tier 10, just at the edge of tier 10. I don't have the CPU to bring me to the limit there. But yeah, let's take this guy apart. Oh, first let's have a quick look at how this guy is supposed to fly. So basically I have these two rudders here for stability. I used to have a full complement of wings and rudders, but I found, or it seems like we have a lot less drag and a little more speed if we keep the wings and rudders to a minimum. So actually that last video, alright, we will go and build a tier 7 flyer. I was going to say we should actually give this craft a fair shake, but whatever. Goodbye, my tier 10 plasma bomber. And if we want to be in tier 7, we probably can't use these tier 10 blocks. Okay, let's see. Tier 7, we can probably get away with doing some tier 8 blocks. With this interceptor, I think we're going to avoid using electroplates. If you use electroplates, normally you really need to base your build completely around the shape of the electroplates, which is kind of annoying, especially if you want to put together a quick plane here. So my favorite kind of plane is that we get upward thrust using thrusters at the front. So let's go and grab some here. Let's see. If we're building for tier 7, let's use tier 6 at the front. Let's see. I like symmetry where possible. We'll go like this. And I do like some thrusters that'll push me down as well. So let's build this out a little more so we can fit 4 tier 6 thrusters at the front. And then we have to figure out where we want to put the SMGs. Nope, we're going for tier 6 thrusters here. And then we'll build out backwards. And we'll probably slap on a bunch of tier 7 thrusters. We also need to figure out where the weapons are going to go. So we're going to be shooting straight ahead since we're an interceptor, taking out other aircraft, and we may as well have some SMGs on the bottom. So we'll use these tier 8 front mounts, and do I have tier 8 top mounts? I do. Alright, so I won't have to buy anything new. Let's see. Where do I want to drop this? We'll put a bunch of top mounts along the bottom, and then, okay, we'll get a flying skeleton first, and then we'll adjust as necessary for placement of the SMGs. Alright, for now, we'll just throw on the engines in the seat and see how it flies. Now let's see, if we are building for tier 7, we'll use the tier 7 thrusters. Something like that for now. We'll adjust as needed, and we'll slap on tier 7 rudders. Looks like we'll need to add some extra cubes. We will add... So the prisms here weigh much less, and you can see that I'm using all inners for the rest of the pieces. We'll switch those over to prisms later if we like this design. So if you look at the weight, okay, so let's look at the tier 6 armor. Tier 6 cubes weigh 11 kilograms, prisms weigh only 5.5 kilograms, so that's half, and the inners weigh 7.37 kilograms. So if you're building a plane, you want it to be light, so that's why we're using, that's our choice of cubes there. Movement, I do like having the rudders at the front forward facing, just because it lets us control the dive more easily. But Doesn't look like we're going to have space for that, especially because of the placement of our tier 6 thrusters there. So we'll see how that performs, and we'll slap on some wings. And if we do want some redundancy later, we'll make a double layer of wings and rudders, so that if one gets shot off, we're not completely immobile. Alright, so first of all, let's see if just the 2 tier 3 thrusters there, or tier 7 thrusters are enough to have us fly, and then we'll slap on weapons to see how that affects balance, and then we'll test it out. So I've never actually built an interceptor before, and we have way too much forward. Okay, so we are airborne. We are kind of slow, but I think for tier 7 this should be fine. What we'll do is we'll slap on a upward facing rudder, and that'll give us some stability if we do lose one of our wings, and we'll slap on 4 SMGs and see how that performs. Alright, so 1 rudder here. So as it is, we are very, this is a very delicate aircraft. Hardware, let's see. Top mount, SMGs tier 8. And another set back here somewhere. So let's see, these guys are how many cubes apart? 5, so we need to stretch back 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and build out like this. Yes, exactly that, massive effects. Delicate, one shot and I fall down, and that's particularly so because I have both these wings attached to the same block, which I actually prefer. We'll see what happens when we actually engage the enemy here, but the reason I prefer, or why I don't mind having wings attached to the same block, is that way if you lose one, you're still relatively balanced. Because if you only have wings on one side of your plane, the plane becomes really hard to control. Okay, so I messed that up slightly. We want to go back one more. So we are adding a lot of excess weight, but we're just testing things out, seeing what this design can do. And then if it's good, we'll re-optimize the skeleton and all the rest. That's not exactly symmetrical. Hardware, there's the tier 8. Alright, so let's test this out in practice so we don't hold our team back too much with a non-functional airplane. Alright, so we're flying. We have some nice maneuverability, and if we do want to take down plasma bombers, it does make sense that our SMGs are at the bottom because we want to get above them. All plasma bombers will have their plasma launchers along the bottom, so for maximum safety we we'll try to get above plasma bombers. Alright, so this is good enough against bots. Okay, so let's see how we are. Self-destruct. Yeah, we can add one forward gun. We'll see how close we are to maxing out on tier 7. We've got plenty of room left in tier 7. So we could even maybe slap on some armor. I don't know. I think our thrusters are a little more powerful than we need them to be. So let's go hardware, chassis, put on an inner here, and we'll slap on a front-mounted SMG right here. We'll have to go forward just a little more. So again, this plane is not very efficient, but it's a good starting point, and hopefully makes for an entertaining stream so far. Okay, so that looks reasonable. Our articulation here, we probably want to be pointing down more so. So let's rotate that around. Yeah, definitely want to be pointing down. Alright, and for the upward thrust, let's grab some tier 4s. Yeah, those will fit in there. Tier 4 here, tier 4 here. And then now we need a radar and a radar jammer. Let's see, tier 5 radar would be fine for tier 7. Just hide that behind the seat. No, that's not quite gonna work. Let's see, we can hide that on this cube here maybe? Nope, just underneath then. Now that gets in the way of the SMGs. Alright, we'll just put that right here. Yeah, that's fine. And radar jammers, we could, let's see what a tier 7 does for us. So one nice thing about jammers is that they have a lot of armor, so you can use them to protect key parts of your plane. Like if we placed one right under the seat, maybe we can fit a tier 5 there. No, we need to block off some stuff. Right, let's put the radar jammer there and move the thrusters, up thrusters, a little more forward. Yeah, we'll place them right here. Now if we lose those, we'll be in trouble. Alright, so now we're in the middle of tier 7. Yes, the physics in this game are not realistic. I wouldn't lose any sleep over that. And so what we'll do is we'll test this out, and then we'll switch over to Civ. We'll see if LC is free for the whole GD proxy war things. He just messaged me on Steam. Alright, so I'm not terribly happy with this Interceptor, but then again I've never played an Interceptor. So let's have some fun and see how this guy performs. But first I'm going to let LC know that Alright, so let's see how this performs in a real battle. And yes, apparently Massive Effects is entertained by this particular profile. We've got a couple balls and some sort of a phallus type object at the front. But, you know, you see what you see, and we'll see how our little mosquito performs. Actually, while we're here, I think let's see if we can afford to double up the wings. Okay, hardware, movement, we've got additional tier 5s. That might prevent us from going into the next, or keep us in tier 7. Alright, so we have to move back one if we don't want the thrusters in the way. Sure, we can see how this performs. We're still very delicate. We are more likely to lose our skeleton, or the main frame, rather than our wings, but I do want to slap these on just in case. And we'll test that out in practice once more. That's sort of a big change. Hey 69-bit gamers, thanks for joining the stream. And what did LC have to say for himself? Alright, so we're a little heavier. We're still fairly maneuverable. And we are able to dive fairly quickly, which will be nice for evasive maneuvers. I think I might prefer more up thrust rather than down thrust. But yeah, this is a craft that actually flies, so we'll take it into battle. Okay. Alright, so it's not the best plane, but let's see what it does. Alright, so we'll test this out. If you guys like what you see, do let me know, and I'll do some more RoboCraft streams in the future, but we're probably going to wrap this one up in about 10 minutes. I'm going to have a quick snack, and then we're going to go over to some Civ. Alright, so if there are a lot of enemy plasma bombers for us to... I definitely want more forward thrust on this guy. I'm not very happy with his speed, at least compared to my tier 10 bomber. But we will need to hang back. We don't want ground tanks to finish us off. We're here just to take care of the enemy plasma bombers. And yeah, we don't have enough forward thrust to get as high as we should, being an interceptor. But we'll see what we can do here. Yeah, we need more. Forward thrust. Just the two tier 7 thrusters are not nearly enough. And we need to get higher. Having them on the bottom here when we don't have enough thrust to get above the other bombers is making things a little difficult for us. But we're still doing damage here. Alright, so there's one kill. He was already debilitated, but hooray, Interceptor. Yes, we do have a computer voice that reads out the type of ship that you end up spotting now. So the main issue with this guy is he's too slow. Alright, 2 kills on the Interceptor, but again, this is just picking up injured planes. Our team is doing pretty well. Don't know if I contributed to our victory very much here, but I'm glad to see that this hastily constructed Interceptor sort of performed. Awesome. Alright, so that's it for this particular extremely short RoboCraft stream. I'm just going to go and grab a snack, and then we'll be streaming some Civ, so please feel free to stick around for that. And thanks for tuning in to my